Hello there, YouTube. My name is Chuggy, and today I've got a question and answer. A question and answer video, I guess. I've had a couple questions in via PM, comment, whatever, wherever else, PSN message. I had a few, and today I'm going to discuss them. And to do that, I have a few friends with me. Well, as you'd probably better know them, my squad. And if you watch the Formula One videos, the Formula One group. So today I have Mr. Matt Jacobs.
Hello.
Mr. Tom Jakes.
Hello.
And Mr. Mikes.
Yo!
Who's being so awesome, he's actually playing Battlefield right now as we do this. So that's
I'm
cool.
late.
Just so you know, this gameplay, as far as I was concerned, was a bit naff from my perspective, but Matt goes on an absolute tear, and I'll talk about that at the end. Here I'm trying to do a bit of aggressive recon, which doesn't quite work, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Anyway, so question number 1 comes from Jaka Habo, and he asks, well, basically, how do you take down a jet? And, well, I'm going to extend that a little bit to how do you get the best out of a jet? So we have an ace jet pilot in Matt. Matt Jacobs is our.
Whoa, don't oversell me, bro.
Yeah, you might get poached. He's crap, but he's better than us. So, yeah. So Matt, how do you fly a jet? How do you engage stuff? How do you get the best out of them?
Keep your airspeed up, unless you are like right behind someone, in which case you probably want to slow down. But obviously, don't slow down too much, otherwise you'll just go run out of airspeed and fall to your death unless you can nose over and punch your afterburns and throttle up.
Yeah, stalling is sitting duck.
Stalling is bad. Obviously, leading your target with your cannon is obviously key. Learning when to flare is a little bit more difficult now that the flare range has been changed. And obviously, if you want to practice on an unranked server, so you're not taking the jets away from those who know how to use them.
All good advice. All very good advice. In terms of taking sort of vehicles, well, down in general, Tom is our pretty much primary engineer. Advise Tom in getting rid of annoying flying things.
Well, the easiest way to start off with is be an engineer and have Stinger or Igla.
Or if you're really pro,
Javelin.
RPG or something. Yeah, Javelin.
Javelin, yes.
Javelin.
And, was it the Soul Flam?
Soul Flam,
Yeah.
yeah.
That doesn't always work, but yeah, we'll move to that in a minute. But the way to take down an air vehicle is you got to have a bit of space around you. Like open space into the sky, so your target doesn't fly by on a tree and you lose the lock. The second thing, or the third thing, I can't remember which one I'm on now, but is to don't fire the rocket straight away. Some pilots, as soon as they hear the lock-on thing, they will flare.
Yep.
So, kind of, as you get the lock and you're just waiting, if there's enough open space, wait a little while longer, see if they do flare. Because, you know, they flare early, and then you just lose the lock, gain it back, and then they're weak.
Yeah, exactly. Essentially, it's basically we're baiting the flare. So by the time if they flare early and we haven't fired the missile, we'll get the lock, fire the missile, and it will hit them. Normally, before they can get their flares back, they're basically a flying sitting duck. Or
Unless they're
duck.
a pretty good.
Unless they're a pretty good pilot, and that
Yeah, in
reminds
which
me
case
of
you can dodge quite quick.
that reminds me of a story where we were all playing Caspian Border. There was a particularly pro helicopter pilot who was, well, basically he was sort of second guessing us before we knew what we were doing, and he was flaring only when he heard the missiles, that kind of thing. Basically, I think I tried, Tom tried, Mike, I think you tried as well. Individually, we couldn't get it to work. So what we did, we all went as engineers, all brought out stingers. One would fire, and then 3 would fire after the flare had gone.
He had no chance. He had no chance. But it didn't just happen once, it happened about 2 or 3 times. And
To say he got pissed off.
yeah, I got hate mail from him with some colourful language, basically saying that I used the Stinger a bit too much, something like that. But you know, you don't have to be childish if you're getting shot at. People have to attack, and you have to kind of adapt to the situation.
Exactly. Deny them vehicles as well. I've discussed in previous video. Never mind. Actually, that brings us on quite nicely to the next question, which comes from Mega Hillbilly. Awesome name. Our thoughts on, well, the patch we've had for a little while now. I'll sum up my thoughts. The Stinger and the Igla need to be buffed up to what they were before the patch. Personally, I think they're a bit too weak now. And the infrared nerf, infrared did need nerfing, but perhaps that needs a little bit of improvement. It is basically shooting through an invisible sandstorm now.
Oh, so you can't see a thing, can you?
Well, pretty much. Before it was far too strong. in terms of you can stop people from like 20, 30 meters. Maybe if it was just 10 meters and like after that you couldn't see, I think that'd be a bit fairer.
I mean, what was it? We did a little thing where we were playing Tehran Highway and we were defending, and you ran up the hill, and you must have been a good 80, 90 meters away from me. And I saw the guy who was trying to shoot you in the back. You were further, what, 20 meters past you?
Yeah, it was a bit too strong. That's my thoughts anyway. Mike's, what do you think about the patch? Anything in particular?
Not particularly, no. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's good what they did with the weaponry itself. In retrospect, I suppose I do have a little bit of a grudge against what they did do with the stickers. To be honest with you, though, I mean, it still took. How many did it take generally before the patch itself? How many did it take? Two. And
two
now,
to blow.
What about now then? I suppose.
3, maybe 4.
Yeah, 3 to 4.
See, but you know, by that time, and this is also including flares. So you know, in general, I mean, how can I put it? It seems like a kind of senseless nerf down, because if they've got flares anyway, you're not going to get a guaranteed hit, regardless. It's going to take what? Is it 1 to disable, 2 to destroy, or is it just 2 to disable?
It's 2 to disable now.
2 to disable now.
Well, they also increased the amount of damage a vehicle could take before it gets disabled.
Yeah.
Which actually I agree with. I think that's
up from 50 to 75%.
I suppose, yeah, but in the sense of them doing that, then they don't need to nerf the amount of rockets provided, or stingers it is provided to take down the vehicle, if vehicles therefore can take more damage. It seems a little bit of a kind of, it's making it sound like now all of a sudden vehicles are now the dom of the game. It's kind of taking out the infantry aspect of the game. Everyone gets a vehicle, that's it, we're screwed. Which you lot have heard from me before. Helicopters, getting a bit sick and tired. It was after the patch that I've just too many vehicles, I think, now. But you know, it seems a little bit senseless that if now helicopters are able to take more damage, why not make it so that it takes 3 or 4 stingers in order to take a vehicle down? This doesn't seem like a really thought out plan, really.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion. I mean, obviously everyone else is entitled to theirs, so
yeah. I mean, overall, I think it was a good patch. What I'm most happy with, though, is the amount of support that EA and DICE are giving. I mean, already they've put out sort of the initial feelers for the next balance patch, and you know, it's a couple A4 pages long. I've already talked about it, and I've seen they're going to increase the damage, the stingers again, so that's fine. So I think all steps in the right direction. Some, better than others, I guess. Yeah. Speaking of steps in the right direction, though, back to Karkan. What a piece of DLC. Are we in agreement?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Frickin' sweet. I've had a question from the Mexican guy with a few numbers in there about the MG36 and the Iron Ore sight, I should say, that you get by default. Now, if you remember from Bad Company 2, it was the model with a built-in red dot sight. He was asking, is it the same in Battlefield 3? Well, Tom, you have got the MG36.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about it?
But unfortunately, every time I use it, the animation for like the character bone structure ends up putting the gun above my head with my hands up, so I look like I'm surrendering. So, and every time I aim, all I get is a face full of forearm. So I can't really tell, but from a few angles that I've seen, it's the iron sights. It's not red dot.
Iron sights with the rail system.
But yeah, from what I've seen and what I know of the actual weapon, it's got a G56C style iron sight to start.
And I might just say that is a bug that needs to be fixed in a patch.
Yeah, I have seen it on other Back to Karkan weapons as well. So I think it's probably some form of bug.
It makes the gun useless. You can't aim. You can't. Well, you can shoot, but it's just like being
hip firing
a foot away from a wall and trying to shoot over your head.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh dear. Anyway, guys, looking at the time, we have a few more minutes, so from each of you, please, a pearl of wisdom, a tip, a hint, anything to do with Battlefield for my lovely subscribers.
I will let Mike go first.
But yes, that's fair.
Let me think of one first, mate.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, fuck. I suppose it's probably going to have to be from an infantry's point of perspective, I suppose. Apart from one, play your class. I don't think how many times you can stress that on that game is play your class. Obviously, if you're an assault, Matt, you're usually generally an assault nowadays, aren't you?
Yeah.
Often. I mean, that's the difference between obviously of Call of Duty and Battlefield itself is to play your class that you are. You know, if you've been given defibs and you're giving out health, then give it out for Christ's sake. What's the point in having it if you're not going to give it out?
Same with ammo.
You know, ammo. You know. Well, I'll say recon itself. I suppose spawn points. I don't know. I suppose recon is supposed to get off lightly, but it's more supposed to be like engineers, support, assault.
Dropping vehicles, fixing vehicles.
You know, exactly. That's another thing, I suppose. And also, so from an infantry's point of view, for the love of God, look at your map. Yeah, how many times I think I've seen loads of people that just seem to follow around like their teammates like sheep, and they go the same way over and over again, and they don't look at their map. The amount of times you could probably flank an enemy or get the upper hand on them by just looking at your map simply. You know, and you know, you just gain the upper hand a lot easier than just going and following your teammates constantly. Yep. Obviously, I always used to say, like I did on MGO, always follow around with 2 people. Back up, you know, just go in group of 2s, you know, but not a whole squad go one way, because it's just basically a fucking slaughterhouse.
If you get caught by a machine gun, you're screwed.
Exactly, you know, as I said, I've got a degree, obviously, of backing each other up, but to the point of a whole squad going the same way, no, I don't think so, somehow.
Good advice.
Unless it's Death Alley, going back to that whole squad not going the same way, unless it's Death Alley in
Metro.
That or Grand Bazaar, because a 4 versus 1 situation there does count. Going back to the defibs though, playing your class as an assault, you've got to think before you revive someone. Don't just slap them with the paddle and break it first.
Yep.
Because a number of times I've been revived while someone's looking at me with an RPG going, go on, I dare you to revive him, I dare you to revive him.
All looking for the enemy tank, may I? Tom, anything you'd like to share?
Play as a team. Don't try and solo it. It's not Call of Duty. If you see a flag being taken by the enemy, go and give some support. Because many times I've been the only one at a flag defending it, and there's been like 4 or 5 guys there, and there's nothing I can do. But it's not just me in those situations. It's other people. If you can help them out, at least you can say that you tried.
Yeah.
And it's also play the objective.
Of course. I mean, that was what I was going to say. Play the objective and read the battlefield. You know, if you think people, as Mike have said, are all bunching up and going one way, you know, grab a machine gun and mow them all down. Just, you know, try and be as effective as you can be. Be versatile in what you can. You know, if it ain't working with one kit, in fact, you've seen that in this gameplay. I was playing with the L96. I swapped out to the L85 to try and mow a few people down, then swap back. That perhaps wasn't the best choice. Anyway. So, gentlemen, with that, this video will be slowly coming to the end. So, first of all, I'd like to say thank you very much, guys, for joining me. Hopefully, viewers will have enjoyed this. Certainly, this was quite an interesting sort of idea to try and get sorted. But I think this has been good.
If they didn't like it, you'll soon see it in the comments.
That's very true. Very true. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. And now I'll explain why I use this video. With a very close eye on the scoreboard, because Matt is playing his class, in fact doing most of the advice we've just given, and you'll see that this stuff does net rewards. And observe, I've been playing one class trying to do one thing whole game, not quite has worked out as well. So this stuff does work, as we've discussed and as you have seen. So yeah, I'll leave it like that.
Can I just add one thing?
I know what you're going to say,
quickly.
so I'll add it.
Oh, okay.
So guys, thank you very much for watching. If you want to follow any of us, you know, for example, Tom has his own channel. There'll be a link in the description. Check it out. We are doing stuff both there and here. And well, you can be able to get in contact with us there. Anyway, I want to say thank you very much for watching this video. If you have questions you'd like answered or more of these videos, leave a comment. Please leave a rating, a like, a dislike if you like the video or not. And if you haven't seen any or want to see more of my videos or Tom's, hit the subscribe buttons. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm the Chuggy, and I'll see you out on the battlefield.